All right, it's time to go. Back with another show. Sniper Sports, live from the 808 where we shoot you straight. This is Joey. With me, as always, is Steven. And we're going to get into week 3 of the NFL. We got Thursday night game coming up. Before we get into the Thursday night game, what I'm beginning to see here, as last Thursday night game was, less than impressive to say the least. I'm not trying to beat the teams up too much, but I think it's just because they don't have enough time to rest. It's a short week. Not only the physical wear and tear on their body, they might not have the proper time to prepare to get the right game plan. And basically what I'm saying, folks, is Thursday night games lately, they've been a little lackluster. I mean, we're seeing a watered-down product. Mm-hmm. But it looks like, Steven, the NFL isn't budging on this anytime soon. They're really trying to push this. They got the color rush jerseys to kind of get people excited about it. Mm-hmm. And the players have been vocal about saying they don't care for Thursday games, being it's so hard that we just played on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Our bodies are still healing. We're not machines, etc.
Absolutely.
I don't know. So with that being said, do you get up for Thursday night games? Are you pretty much excited for them? Is it the matchup, or is it the short week still playing in front of your brain? What do you think about Thursday nights?
Well, to be very honest, I'm always hyped up for football, whether it be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday. I just like watching football, especially now there's something to watch. There's no basketball.
Right.
But do I understand where the players are coming from? Absolutely. I think they have a problem with playing on Thursday. I don't think they have a problem with all the rest they get for the next week, though.
Right.
To be quite honest. So I understand where they're coming from, but I don't believe the NFL is going to budge on this. I do like the games. It just keeps me interested in football. And I think with the NFL, what they're trying to do globally is really get fans from other countries involved and giving them opportunities to see. I really don't think they're focused on Americans, if I want to put it.
Right.
I think this week the Jaguars, and I forgot who they're playing. I think they're playing in London as well.
Baltimore.
So they're playing in London. I mean, that's going to take a toll on the body. That's going to take off some time as well. So, to be very honest, I think it's just, the players are going to have to deal with it. And I know it's such a short week for some of them, but it is a longer week for them after it. So I think they're going to get their rest in their body. And I don't think you really see in the beginning of the season, just because it's still fresh. People are still fresh. It's not so bad. I think towards the end of the season, maybe they should do maybe about 10, 12 weeks, and the last 4 weeks just keep it to just Sunday night football and Monday night, just to give the players a rest and a better product. I think by then players are just, especially not playing for anything, they're done with it.
True. But you know what, Steven? I think you touched on it earlier when you said, I don't think it's necessarily for America. They're trying to sell this NFL product globally, and that's no secret, right? This year's the second time the Raiders will be back to play a game in Mexico City shortly here. As you mentioned, Baltimore and Jacksonville are playing in London this week. Mm-hmm. So, and this is, I believe the third or fourth year we've seen this, where there's a couple games in other countries, overseas, and they're really trying to push and promote. I think a lot of that has to do with why we still have the Thursday games, like you said. I do like football. Of course, I love football. That's why we're doing this and talking about this. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is I respect the fact that as an athlete, the players need to give their bodies a chance to heal. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So sometimes we're not seeing the best product. Kind of like, going to your favorite restaurant right before closing. Not always the best idea. That cook's in the back. He wants to get out of there. Mm-hmm. And, your food is just not the same would it be with the proper time to prepare the food.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I don't think it's too much of. I think that's the biggest point, and I think it's also the games that they put on Thursdays. And for this week, for example, what we're talking about, the Rams and 49ers. The 49ers aren't that hot team anymore. The Rams seem to be doing well. But you look at the week before that with Houston versus Cincinnati, I thought it was a good game because you had the players. Houston coming off that horrible loss to Jacksonville. Cincinnati putting up 0 points.
Donut against Baltimore in the first week.
So I think it's just a good game to watch. The first week, Kansas City, New England, I think a lot of people were surprised. That was good football.
That was a good game. But it was the first week. Now it's a difference.
Exactly. So I think it's just maybe doing something more for, the players. Maybe them coming off the bye week so they have more time, trying to work around that schedule. But I think it's also doing with just putting on the right game and putting on the right opportunities. And to be quite honest, if the players looked at it at this standpoint, on Thursday night, it's your time to shine. You can go out there and make an amazing performance. Like with Cincinnati or Deshaun Watson, I think it helped focalize on Deshaun Watson, him playing, him having that time to really show his talents, because there's no other games going on. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like another Monday night game.
To be quite honest with you, on that Sunday, if they was playing on Sunday, would you really watch that game, or would you be like, well, there's this other game on, let me take a time off?
You're right. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably flip the channel.
So I think players need to look at that. They're always trying to enhance their brand, as they say, and always make it great. That's why I think Sunday night, the primetime game, Thursday night and Monday night are great for teams to really show what they're about and really do something with.
Gives those guys that platform.
Spotlight. Exactly. There's no other games really on that time. Now's the time to really show what you can do out there.
Yeah, so basically what Steven's saying is it's double-edged sword, catch-22 here, folks. And with the Thursday games, at least the teams get a nice long rest, kind of like a mini bye week, if you will, 9 or 10 days to their next game.
Absolutely.
But going to the Thursday game, tomorrow night we have the LA Rams traveling to San Francisco, play the Niners. I'll just go over this game really quickly, Steven, because there's not much to go over. The Niners, like you said, aren't a hot team. Hell, they're not even lukewarm. They struggle here at quarterback. Brian Hoyer, have a new coaching staff, 0-2. In fact, I believe the Niners have not won a game. They've won 2 games in the last 23 or 24 games, if I'm not mistaken. Now, both those just happen to be the Los Angeles Rams. I had the liberty of looking that up from last year. They beat the Rams twice. But other than that, the Niners have lost to every team in the last 23 to 24 games. Not very exciting. With that being said, on the other side of the ball, Los Angeles Rams, they look like they got a shot in the arm. They played well against Washington to get their first win of the season last week. The week before. Goff threw for 300 yards. So they're progressing. Todd Gurley looks good after that down season that he had last year. Steven, I look for the Rams to win by 10, maybe even 14 points here. I know it's a division game, but I really just giving the Rams the nod because of the simple lack of firepower that the Niners possess.
Absolutely, Joey. I think it's not a brain surgeon to figure this out. The Rams they look really good this year. I think they're a playoff team. Maybe they'll squeak in depending on how Seattle does and the rest of the teams. They did beat Arizona, and pretty convincingly. I don't think Arizona's a team that everyone thought, like we said on our last podcast. So they're looking pretty good, and I just don't think, even with the Niners, I think they have some injuries on defense. I don't think they're going to pull it out. I think it's going to be a 20-point win. I think it'll probably be like 30-10 maybe, and that's me being generous with the 49ers. I think
that
it's going to
be shock me either.
Yeah, kind of be a big blowout. So really not much to talk about this game. I just definitely think the Rams are going to come out, and this is what I'm talking about with the Thursday night game. You have the Rams versus the Niners. They need to do something better about that, whether it be like maybe the Rams versus Seattle or something differently, just to help it out and make the Thursday night games better.
Right. I'm sure they are throughout the week, and San Francisco is a big market. It's just too bad their team isn't very exciting to watch. And
absolutely.
Who knows? We might get surprised, but I think not.